Deliver my soul. Save me. What's he saying? He's anticipating dying, and he's praying for his resurrection. And so in the light of his resurrection, knowing that his prayers have been heard from the horns of the unicorn, he descends down into Sheol, and a mighty congregation of saints of all ages for the first 4,000 years of human history gathers at his feet in the upper part of Sheol. And he says, he announces to his brethren what he has just accomplished on the cross of Christ. That is the context of Psalm 22, verse 22. You see, 1 Peter chapter 3 gives us another vantage point where Jesus preached to the condemned and disobedient spirits imprisoned in hell. But Psalm 22, verse 22, gives us another vantage point of what Christ did when he visited hell, is that he preached to his brethren. He preached to the church, the mighty congregation of Adam and Seth and Enoch, of Lamech, Noah, and Shem, of all the saints and prophets and patriarchs and priests and kings throughout all time. He preached to them. He said, my brethren, you don't want to know how I know this? This wasn't some congregation merely after the resurrection, but the greater congregation that there was to liberate upon his death was the souls of the redeemed in Sheol. This is why Jesus came to the grave of Lazarus weeping. I have always believed that there's something more about that scene. There's something more than just Lazarus, his friend who died. I've always believed it, but I've never known what it is until the Lord opened up my understanding. That the Lord came to the grave of Lazarus, he groaned, he wept tears, and it was because he wanted to go visit his brethren in Sheol. He wanted to go into the grave and bring his brethren out. He looked into that grave, longing to go there, longing to conquer death and hell. He was longing for it. He wept over that scene. He wept over Jerusalem because he went to get his church, the congregation of the saints who were locked up in Sheol. So we see there in John chapter 11 where he says that he's the resurrection and the life. We see there that he waited on purpose for his friend to die, for the glory of God, that he might raise him from the dead. And in the grand scheme of things, for 4,000 years up to that day, God was purposefully waiting to incarnate his son. And he waited until all his friends died for 4,000 years and went to Sheol for the glory of God, so that at the coming of Christ, through a miracle of Jonah, Christ is going to go to hell and back and lead captivity captive and ascend up on high and bring the saints to glory. That is what the apostles are talking about. He says, ye that fear the Lord, praise him. That's what he said. At the appearance of the soul of Jesus Christ, penetrating into the upper part of Sheol, shining like the brightness of the sun, as the congregation bowed, he said, ye that fear the Lord, praise him. He said, all you seed of Jacob, glorify God and fear him, all ye seed of Israel. And what is his announcement? He says, for God has not despised or abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, neither hath he hid his face from him. But when he cried, the Lord heard him. He preached the gospel to the congregation of the saints. He said, my brethren, it is done. And he said, just wait a little while and you will be resurrected and you will rule and reign with me on the earth. But for right now, come with me. We're going to glory.